So yeah, so I mean, even though this one was, I mean, it did seem a little bit kind of boring as we were going through it. Obviously, I still think it's important sometimes to kind of go over the wins, even if they are like very hard wins, and just kind of see what
For
you could
sure,
have done
because I
kind of
feel like this
differently.
game could have easily went the other way. Like
Yeah,
I could see myself getting shit on by this Darius. He was pretty bad.
yeah, and there were a lot of things that you kind of did that were a little bit out there. Now, I do think the Doran's Blade would have probably been better
Okay.
in this lane phase. I mean, Doran's Shield is great. I mean, Doran's Shield's second wind is amazing, right? But it makes up for a lot of kind of errors that you make in your own play, just because the Doran's Shield and second wind healing is huge. Like that regen is just massive. So it does
Yeah.
kind of make up for errors. Now, it's not bad. I don't hate it. It's not like a starter item that I really don't like, but I think Doran's Blade would have served you a little bit better. But either way, so this was okay. We start kind of layering this first kind of minion. One thing that you do want to try and do, though, is you want to try and get him and the minions at the same time, right? Now, let me just
Yeah.
get Epic Pen. So when you've got your Q up, what you're looking to do is obviously last hit them, but also get him. So like he's about to walk up here, I'm fairly certain. So if you just angle it a little bit different, you can get damage off on him quite easily. So see, it was lagging a little bit, but you can get the
You
damage
just pass
on him.
under it.
Yeah, and the last hit. But so you want to tether. So one of the things
Mhm.
that you don't do enough is you don't tether. So you kind of walk into the lane wherever you really want. Now it's kind of like a dance, right? Because the way it should work and the way it'll work, especially when you get into a higher elo, is say you'll be trying to get away from each other. You'll say dance up here, and he'll do the opposite, right? So then what you end up doing is you kind of move with each other over and over, and then
Yeah.
eventually, say for example, what you'd do is you'd say move in, you'd say
Yep.
get an auto on the minion, and then you'd move back. And then what happens then is if he doesn't do this same motion and get an auto on this minion, then this is going to drop lower before his. So then what you'd do is you'd move back around, get the last hit, and then as soon as he goes to get it, you just run on him, right? And you start doing damage, and then what that does is that makes him kind of make a decision. Now, this is one of the most important things in solo queue is making the enemies make a decision, right? Because he's going to then choose, do I either last hit this minion and kill it, or do I trade some of the damage back? So by you, say, layering a minion a little bit earlier, you end up putting him in that position where he has to choose on the spot which one he goes for. And especially in these lower elos, it's like gold 1 platinum, you end up in this kind of position where they'll either do one of three things. They'll either go for the minion and take damage from you. They'll either do some damage to you and you will kind of get a slightly even trade. Especially your Yone's level 1 is pretty good. You'll get a pretty decent trade and then back out, or they'll get flustered at the fact that they need to make a decision and they'll just do nothing. So you'll end up getting a gold advantage and you'll also end up getting um, the kill gold. Now here, like for some reason, we are just kind of cancelling autos. So this is kind of one of the things. Like your Q can be used as a gap closer. Now, obviously it is going to run down, so using it at this point is fine. But you Q forward, you get it, and then that's just one auto, right?
Yeah.
Your auto's
Yeah.
already up, so we're just kind of walking
I thought
away.
he
And
was
now,
running it.
yeah, and now this minion, now he gets to kind of play this. So he actually plays this okay. He kind of
Mm-hmm.
steps up and stops you getting this minion. So these little mistakes do actually mean quite a lot. Now you still get the XP, but overall it was
Yeah.
just a bit scuffed. So right here,
No, I played. I made a couple mistakes up until yeah, like five. After I don't know. I made a bunch of early mistakes though, especially in
yeah,
the micro 1v1 stuff.
but this thing, Yone is a very difficult champ, to be honest. He's very
Yeah,
mechanically intensive, which, if that's
for
for you,
sure.
then great, but it can be hard. So here, to be honest, if you would have just walked up a little bit, you wouldn't have got hit by that, and you would have been fine.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, it didn't really do that much anyway, but here, so right there, it's like we don't really need to use that W on the wave, because we want this to come into us anyway, right? Because by us using W on the wave, we're making it thinner, which means it's not going to come in as quick, and we can potentially pressure us on the cannon. That's not going to happen here, but there's some situations where it will. Obviously, like you
Right.
said, like say it's lagging just a little bit,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
but either way, it's not the end of the world. Now this was good. So here, why do you think we do not want to really touch the wave?
trying to freeze it.
Yeah, and we just
You
hold
can't
it here.
reply this, yeah.
Hold it here and do anything. But what should we have done in this situation?
Uh, maybe go
S-
ward or hit the cannon.
so we
Nah,
know
I'm
that
not sure.
he's left the lane,
Yeah,
and we know that Hecarim's pathing towards us. So
yeah.
what do we need to do in this situation?
Just rotate immediately.
No, 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 no. So
Mm.
you know that he's left lane, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Hecarim, he's a gold slash platinum player. How does he know that he's left lane?
Minimap.
Yeah, well, maybe he's concentrating on farming his camps. Maybe. So
Oh, so you have to. You mean ping,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So this is the thing. It
Mm.
it seems super like annoying and kind of you have to see. So one of the biggest things that you can do, and this helped me quite a lot, to kind of get out of your mind that you're kind of playing with four other players sometimes. Now this doesn't mean that you've got to, they're all bots, bum bum bum. Like you've still got to be respectful towards them. But what you can do is you can go, okay, well, this is like platinum elos, so maybe common mistake in these elos is that junglers won't check their minimap. So you kind of make them aware that it's happening. So what you'd look to do is at least one missing ping on Hecarim,
Yeah.
and then a missing ping from top. Now, this
Yeah.
missing ping on Hecarim actually helps because he's going to be like, why on earth is Yone pinging me? And then he's probably going to look
Yeah.
at you like, what is this jerk like pinging me for? What the hell? And then he's going to look up
Yeah.
and he's going to see, oh, the Darius isn't there. Then you ping that he's not here, and then he's like, oh, he's not flaming me, So there's a
Yep.
there's a certain way to do it, but it helps massively. Like I'm not even kidding. It's the difference is night and day because right now, like they are going for his blue buff, like.
Yeah.
So this is
I
fine that
pinged
you're
pretty
pinging.
late. I mean,
Yeah,
because
very late.
they took a look. Darius was off map for way long take to walk. So I'm wondering, like, look how long he really shows. Like,
Yeah,
was he
but
helping him take crab?
uh,
That's what confused me.
I mean, maybe I'm not entirely sure.
I don't know. He just went on map off map for longer than I expected. But yeah,
Yeah,
I should have pinged earlier.
yeah. Now here we don't really need to move because it's nothing's really happened there. We can just continue farming. So here, this is where we're like, okay, we need to look for a trade here, right? Now, when we're
Yep.
playing into Darius, what should our trade pattern actually be?
Mm. Maybe E onto him when he queues,
Okay,
or
so I mean
or
that's
E-
one thing, but what
or
kind? What?
if I'm
So
initiating.
one thing you want to think of is what kind of trade pattern is Darius designed to do? What's he strongest in?
Extended trade.
Extended, yeah, so long trades. So Darius thrives in long trades. Now Yone, Yone is kind of unique in the fact that he can kind of do
Do both.
yeah, he can do
Yeah.
both. But what we can do is we can go, okay, well if Darius wants long trades, then as Yone, what should we be
Like
looking
small
for?
pokes,
Yeah,
small trades.
short
Yeah.
trades, which your E is
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely perfect for. Because your E is kind of... Now, why else is your E super, super valuable against a champion like Darius?
It's movement, but it could also let you retreat. So you take all ins. Like,
Yeah, it's to do when you jump back, but his E kind of works as like a CC cleanse, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
because like when he E's, you can just E back, and or you can time your E, and it's really really good. So it's a little bit laggy, but yeah. So here we get the trade. We did position a bit bad there, and he managed to get
Yeah.
the Q. But this was the big mistake, right? Now when you
Yeah,
take these
I
short
walked it,
trades, you have to make sure you come out of combat. Which, if I recall correctly, combat is I think 6 seconds. The window, something around there anyway. So what you do is you want to back out of there, wait for the stacks to drop, and then you can continue. Just because he ends up
He
getting
kept the ones,
quite a
yeah.
lot here, yeah. And we did take a lot more when the trade should have been good in our favor, especially considering we were a level up. He's going to heal on that level up
For
as
sure,
well.
yeah.
So right here, so this is another thing you really want to do in top lane, and you'll be able to do it a lot in these kind of lower elos. You want to fake recalls as much as possible. So you don't actually want to get a recall. So why don't you want to get a recall off here? Yeah, there's a cannon. Like, if you recall on that, you give him such a big advantage. So what you do is you walk back a little bit further. I mean, here's okay, but walk back a little bit further, wait for him to think that you're recalling, and then in low elo, they'll just walk up all the time and they'll just start hitting this wave. And then what they'll do is they'll push this cannon into you, and then you just farm it safely, and then you get a reset. You do lose some tempo, but your tempo is lost because you messed up that earlier trade, you know?
Yeah.
But at least that way you don't lose tempo and gold, which is super important. So this is fine. So this was a little bit...
Yeah, I mean,
little bit
the E was
ambitious.
bad.
Yeah.
I dodged the Q, I think.
So what do you think was one of the main problems here anyway? So we've got to get
Should've
this
maybe
cannon,
E, yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
that's fine. But how should we have looked to get the cannon?
Maybe E. I don't know.
Or we could have just, E forward,
The E
used our
first.
Q, even our Q as well.
Yeah.
And then that would have allowed us to get the cannon instead of, dying to him. Now, again, in the grand scheme of things, it isn't going to matter too much. I do think the unfortunate thing about this is obviously now you've got double longsword. I do think Berserker Greaves are just way too good as a first item. Would you have gone Berserker Greaves in this next back window if I hadn't have said to? Like, are you normally rushing Greaves when you play this champ, or...?
Most of the time. So, like sometimes, like I said, I go if I'm behind, I'll go tabby and then shield bow and then wits end fast, and then
Okay.
so that gives me the attack speed. But yeah, that's only if I'm losing
Yeah, not too great though. So why do you think that is? Do you know the interaction with Wits End?
with wits end or Zerkers.
With Wits End. So at level
All
1,
right.
how much damage do you do with
Mm-hmm.
Wits End?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so it's 15. 15 damage.
15.
At level 4, how much damage do you do with Wits End?
60 maybe. I'm not sure.
Nope, it's still 15. At level
Still
7, how
15.
much damage do you do with Wits End?
I'm not sure.
Still
Probably
15.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At level 8, what do you reckon?
probably 15.
Okay. Now what about level 9?
I'm not sure. Like probably like 50 or something.
Oh, no, it's 25. I was trying to get you to say 15.
25.
Yeah, I was trying to get you to say 15 on 9.
Yeah.
No, so the problem with Wits End is it doesn't actually start scaling the on-hit damage until level 9 plus. And then it goes up by 10. 10 roughly every single level. And then it caps out at 80 magic damage at level 18, obviously. But what this means is, like if you're low on levels, and it's very early into the game, it's not going to give you as much of that spike. That's why you can't really rush it.
Yeah.
You do have champs like Cogmore and stuff where it really doesn't matter, and if you need the magic resist, it can be great. But on a champion like Yone, your main stat that you want is going to be attack speed, and boots give you about 300 gold for free as soon as you finish them. So it just becomes really good. And obviously your Q, like no other champion besides Yasuo has that hyper unique factor that your Q is reduced with attack speed.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Yone and Yasuo do. So it means that rushing boots on a lot of champs are great, right? Like a lot of ADCs, you can space people a lot more. You're looking to space people a lot with your E as well on Yone. And then it's kind of like your reactivation of your E is a get or jail free card. Here we just missed position a little bit. We just kind of needed to go up a little bit further and we would have got it. But yeah, either way. So he does have the wave in a pretty favourable position, but we do have a Hecarim coming towards us, which is good. So this is kind of another thing, like we can't really do that much into this wave, but he did kind of break it a little bit there.
Hecarim played it well. Yeah.
So this was really good by Hecarim, to be fair.
Yeah. I was just waiting for 6. Yeah.
Yeah. Which,
I don't
was
think
fine.
we died here.
What's that, sorry?
I don't think we died here.
No, we didn't. So yeah, because he got super aggressive because he was like, oh, I'm about to, he's not 6 yet.
Okay.
This was really good. I don't mean to seem like patronizing, but really good leveling up.
Leveling up?
Yeah, like
the
the instant level up into the 6. You'd be surprised
yeah.
how many people don't do that. Or they'll use like their mouse to level up, stuff like that. So
mouse,
yeah, mouse to level up, you wouldn't have got the kill here, basically.
Nope, for sure. Never do that.
So here, we get this nice push. So we could go for the plate, but we don't really know where J4 is, and we just want to reset. We've got our Graves in base. So this is one of the big things that people make the mistake of, right? Unless you need that plate. So say, for example, you need that gold.
Hmm.
160 gold for your spike, okay, great, but you've already got exactly the amount of gold, so it's better to just back off, just get a reset off instead, and play as safe as possible. And that's what we do, and
Right.
it works out because the wave's going to bounce back anyway. We've already got an advantage, and recalling without hitting the tower actually means that you get back into lane sooner, so that you can actually start something. Now, this was a bit of a mistake. So why do you think that was a mistake there?
Walking up to Q,
Yeah.
just trying to let it show faster.
Yeah. So the thing is, this wave is going to come back into you, anyway.
Hmm.
So you don't really want to be thinning the wave off because you've still got 47 seconds on ult. Now Darius still has the ability to 1v1 you,
Yeah.
if he plays it properly. So until we get say another one, maybe 2 kills, we just want to play it safe, wait for our ult, and then just play around our ult cooldown. If we do that, then we're literally fine. So yeah, just
Right.
avoid. Obviously, it didn't change too much there, but just avoid it in general. Kind of general rule of thumb. You always want to have purpose to touching the wave before you actually do it. But this is
Right.
fine. And again, we're just waiting on this cooldown. Obviously, the wave's big now, so we just want to farm it up on the tower. But then, since this wave is so big, what's going to happen after this wave dies to tower?
Um. He's. I'm not sure. He's gonna take aggro.
So once this wave dies to tower, because this one's here and it's going to be somewhat even, what's going to happen is we're going to get slow push. Now, like I was previously saying, slow pushes in top lane are power. They're very, very good. Even if you're behind, if you push a single wave and you're behind, then they're just going to run you down and kill you. Whereas if you've got a double, if not triple stacked wave, then what that means is you've got, a couple of hundred damage inside of that wave. So that damage can actually be enough to stop you dying, and you can pop off. Now, obviously this was fine. We can also just wait slightly. Obviously we did have to flash here and actually get in. The flash, we could have used that at a later point. What we could have done here is just waited again. Just not really walked up, waited a little bit longer, and then got 2 Qs into the kill on him. But
yeah.
Either way,
I thought he was just gonna run away. I didn't think he'd be stupid enough to find me, but he just
so
walked
the
in
thing
me.
is, if he runs away here, the wave's in a really good position for us, right? Because there's 2 cannon melees here, and these are like the little tanks. So what this means is all of our caster damage is going to be in these. So then it means that it will slow push eventually, especially in like a wave or 2. But it means that he just can never really walk up. So the same way as that Jax did in the game that the other game that you played, kind of similar.
Right.
So what could we have also done here with the wave? So what do you reckon we could have also done here? So there's additional minions here, and there's a caster here, 3 casters here. So there's a lot of damage here.
Just leave it. Leave it.
Yeah. You could have just ran it into this brush, and then just recalled. And then what do you think would have happened if you did that?
I would have just stayed there for when I got back.
Yeah, you just come back. Again, it's not going to be a freeze, but it is going to slow push, and then you just kill him again because you've obviously got a 2 kill advantage right now, and he's getting pretty tilted. So we could have done that. Obviously, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. If you push it in, you push it in. But it would have helped a little bit out. Because the thing is, it wasn't a cannon either, so it's not even that amazing. But the next wave is going to be a cannon. So this wave 2. So the next one is going to be a cannon now. So here again, we can just get this plate because, it's super low. And then we just get out. We don't want to overgreed for plates, especially because we lose so much tempo. Now, again, Yone is probably one of the few champions with the Yasuo that can go agility cloak this early. If you're playing like a different champion, you'd probably prioritize noon cover.
No, do it, yeah.
But, 30% from crit cloak is super valuable.
Yeah. I used to never run it, and then, just you start taking it early and you get a huge damage increase.
Yeah. Crits, one of the most broken metrics. So I don't know what we were doing here, but we did kind of allow him to farm for free there. But again, we're just waiting on our ultimate before we really try and force anything too hard. This is just slight trade. which is fine. You know, we get him to half.
I was face checking the bush going for a ward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was fine. I don't know what like he's
That was a
doing.
weird R, but yeah,
Yeah.
no, he's
Like
done at this point.
this guy,
He's getting hit by everything.
he's mentally checked out. The fact that he flashed into you, I don't know what he expected when he's a level
Yeah.
down and 2 kills down. But you
Yeah,
know, it is what it is. It's a clear-cut
Yep.
case of it is what it is.
lol.
Yeah, like look at that
What
build.
rude
Like,
this guy
how
says
does he
again.
expect to do any damage with that build? But we do,
That's funny.
we do want to avoid entertaining them, like just because at the end of the
Yeah,
day,
you're right.
like. So one of the things, like I know I said this when we were actually in the game as well, but one of the things that I always found the most tilting is not the players that were typing to me because I'd be like, oh look at them, they're just trying to get a rise right now because they've had bad games or something. But it was the players that absolutely ruined me and just completely smurfed on me and said nothing the entire time.
For
Like
sure.
at the end of the game, they'd say like "GG, well played," and I'd be like, "They've got their chat on. They know." Like it's so frustrating. It's like the ultimate tilt move because it's like they know they're better and they don't need to type to you, so it's kind of funny. But yeah, so again, I think we didn't get another plate here, but so this we have our ultimate, so we're in a pretty good position. So yeah, we just missed it.
Yeah.
We
Brutal.
ulted his clone. We did get the shimmer. I don't know if did you see the shimmer when you used ult or
Yeah, I did.
okay. So it was a pretty good ult then, to be fair. I wasn't sure if you just used it and hope for the best. But
It was kind of prediction, but
you know the way
yeah,
that we purposely tanked the tower aggro there, like and saved J4's life. Sorry,
brilliant.
Hecarim's life. Truly skilled.
No, I think I died as that here. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think was a big mistake here? And we literally just spoke about this.
I emoted, bro. That was one. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
But
so,
yeah, no, I just greeted for a plate for no reason.
Yeah, so the plate was okay, but we should have moved now. We should have as the plate was dropping low, started spacing. The minions can even finish the plate off, right? So
I
let
don't
the
know. Yeah,
minions
it's like a
finish it.
couple more hits.
Yeah, and then we can run down this way. We can full like racing lines it and then run away. But it's as if we completely forgot that the Zed had just killed the Hecarim there.
I didn't even see that actually.
Yeah,
I didn't even know he killed Hecarim.
So
Well, you know.
it is what it is. Obviously, we do give Zed quite a decent chunk of gold. So what were you? Yeah. So this as well is just bad. So like they don't. What's their like they don't have considerable healing.
Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna do it.
Yeah.
Or I mean, the only reason no, I'm not Evian.
Okay, good.
It'd only be Swain.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just kind of seeing what you think about it. Yeah.
Hell no. Like, the thing is with Grievous Wounds is, so you have to think about two things. One of the first things is obviously you can very easily apply it on multiple people as Yone, which is one of the big kind of identifiers if you can buy it. But the thing is, they don't really have significant healing. Like, say, maybe, even if you're against, like, a Vlad or something, it's still really not worth, because it's like, you can just do so much damage that you can out damage their healing at times as well, you know? So it's like, you don't really need it. And so we've gone about the combat triangle before, right? Have we?
Which one was it? Maybe.
This one? Does this ring any bells?
No.
Okay. So the P is poke, the A is all in, and the S is sustain. And it's a very basic concept. Obviously, it doesn't apply to everything. That a poke champion, if you play it correctly, can beat an all-in champion by basically poking them out before they all-in. This means that they're not going to have enough HP to all-in, and if they do, you can kite them back and kill them. An all-in champ will usually beat sustain.
Makes sense.
Because when it comes to kind of all-in and sustain, then sustain champions play on cooldowns, right? So if they're waiting on their cooldowns and you all-in them, like, you'll just kill them before they actually get a chance to. Similar with sustain into poke is the fact that when it comes to kind of poke champions, they also play on cooldowns. So if they poke you and then you heal it back instant with like a Soraka or something, the damage just isn't going to stick and then their mana is gone. So their mana pool gets affected and then they can't do anything except you just get to free farm, and it's really, really good.
Yeah.
So this is something that you can follow. It's also very good in terms of understanding how to play some matchups.
For sure.
And how to build as well, you know. So yeah, Executioner's terrible. Like, especially when your champion revolves around this 2-item power spike, which is your shield bow and infinity edge. Not really, no other champs except for Yasuo again. I say except for Yasuo over and over, but you get what I mean. Like, no other champions can really build IE that early because of the changes. They'll just lose too much value out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, the items still stay good on these, so you never really want to delay it at all. Whether that be with, you know, like, bad boots or wits end or anti-heal, anything like that.
Yeah.
So here we can just get the tower, and he stayed. So we just get the tower and kill him. Oh no, we just get out here, right? Because the J4's here. So this, you know, I don't think you needed to flash here. Because the thing is, the Darius is
I
pretty
don't know. Yeah.
But the problem is, so...
Maybe I could win.
The thing is, look, Hecarim is on his way. Actually, he's low. Actually, never mind. So this was actually a good decision. I didn't see how low the Hecarim was.
Yeah.
If he had ultimate, maybe, but... So this was good. We get another kill on him. Because, you know, at this point, we're just strong enough that we can just run him down over and over. The Hecarim actually pushed his Q into healing range, which is pretty funny, but... Yeah, so we did try and reset here, though, right? I think it was here. So why don't you want to reset here? There's two reasons.
Cool. Hecarim's here.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
The waves in the middle, you should probably push it out, and they don't have a tower.
And you don't have BF gold yet.
Don't have BF, yeah.
So it's like, if say for example you were being contested, okay, great, but if you back here, you're only gonna get a cloak of agility, which, you know, is okay, but then you're gonna have so much gold left over.
I was planning on selling my Doran, so maybe it was too early.
I mean, if you need it, it's not that it's too early, it's the fact that you didn't really need to, you know, like, there's no real, like, kind of danger that you're facing here. You're 2 levels up on Darius, which, I don't know the exact maths on Yone, but most champions are 575 total gold per level. Darius is actually one of the highest. I think Darius is 652 per level. But Yone is kind of like a bruiser, so I think he's probably in the 600s too. So bruisers are usually in this kind of like 600 to 652 mark per level in base stats, and most of the base stats that you get are in defensive stats too. So it means that, you know, if you're building just pure damage, those defensive stats come a lot from levels. So because you've got 2 levels, you're not only up on him in gold with kills, etc., but you're also up on him by, let's just say, about 1200 gold in base stats too. So you can take these fights very, very easily, and Hecarim's in the top side of the map. So there's no real danger of like staying a little bit longer. And the J4 is mid as well, apparently. But yeah, so we managed to get that. Get this good. We walk through, so this is another thing, right? Like, walking through mid is fine, because if you walk through mid, it's the fastest way into the map. But then you have to decide where you're going to go to from there, and then influence the side lanes. Now, you're so strong right now that there's nobody that can fight you in a side lane, right? Like, it's just impossible. Like, your side lane is so strong at the minute because you're so fed. So because nobody can fight you in a side lane alone, they have to send multiple. Now, if you force them to send multiple, then before you know it, you're killing them 1v2, and your team is also killing them 4v3, you know? So you end up kind of forcing these number differences very, very hard, which is kind of one of the main things you want to do. This is why split pushing overall is super, super broken, because split pushing is basically forcing them to make decisions. It's forcing decisions in kind of like the simplest form, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just so broken. So here, to be honest, I would have probably just tried to get the Gromp. I mean, Shaker would have seen you, but I think you would have been fine, to be honest. Because I think even if Shaker, J4 and Darius come here, you can potentially kill one and then just get out as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just claim that wave. Like, again, Darius is the only one, and we do have vision at other places. Unless they ran through the lane, but I don't think they would there. So this is fine, we get the tower. So again, here, run through mid, sure, but then go into a side lane. Because, you know, we're just allowing the Darius to farm up for no real reason. And it's like, your team don't technically need you here. Like, you do get a kill on Shaco, sure, but... So... This is good that we're actually taking the jungle camps when we're ahead now. I know that was one of the things we spoke about last time. And then yeah, so this is fine. Again, we're on such a big spike here. Again, GA, honestly, unless you have a massive bounty, just isn't worth it because you're losing like 30% of the gold off it as soon as you... yeah. Yeah, let's
it's
watch
honestly
that.
just BM. Like, the fact that I can do literally whatever I want, play it, I want, still kill us.
Yeah, it's because
Anyway,
like his build
anyway.
is so grief, like it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But yeah, so either way, oh, this fight actually, let's see what we could have done a little different on this one. So, this was okay. Now, I think we used the Q on the Grump there, right? So, instead of using Q on the Grump, just jump directly on the J4 and start Qing him. Just because you want to get the full damage on him. It was a shame that Zed ulted you there. Otherwise, I think you would have actually 1v2'd this.
For sure.
But
It's all good, though.
Ari still picks it up. And we're very strong. Now, Stopwatch on its own is such a powerful item. Especially because I think this is the... Is this a soul? I'm not sure if this is a soul.
I believe so.
I think it is, right?
I think it is, yeah.
But what do you think the problem is here?
I should be going top, probably.
Yeah. I mean... Top is okay.
Top
I mean, there is a dragon coming up, and they are going to potentially go for it. So I probably would have just gone into bot instead, and crashed this wave, cleared this wave, and then this wave can push in as well. Then.
Yeah, I thought the game was just over here, but I guess not.
Yeah. So never assume just because it will just go wrong the majority of the time. To be honest, there is also ways in top lane. Actually, I think top lane would have been the better choice here. Because you could have cleared this and then got the tower, which is... The tower's like 550 gold. So that would have been, you know, a free 550. Now here we just overstay for this Shaco. Like, he's the support and he's really not worth it. So it's like the gold that we would get from the Shaco anyway, we're losing in the side lanes, you know?
I thought I could kill him quick because he was just being a dumbass, but...
Yeah, no.
The whole thing, I should have just went...
Yeah.
It's
just Shaco thing. Because you got like 300 gold, right? But we also died for it. Now they do get soul off it. Yeah, so they do get soul off it, but we could have been top lane right now with soul hitting this top tower. And then as soon as they come to us. So I think one of the biggest problems that you're having when you're playing side lanes is you are getting fed like this, but then for some reason you're going to them, whereas you want to force them to come to you. Like, you want to be so much of a problem that they have to deal with you or they lose the game. And then by doing that, it means that your team doesn't have to be that good because they're just going to end up, like, losing the game based on your side lane pressure, right? So,
Yep.
So again, this is where they just end the game. But yeah, so obviously quite a few points there. The main ones are obviously what you're actually doing when you get a lead, a few mechanical issues, stuff like that. So yeah, I think we'll leave that one there. Like, obviously that was just kind of a recap over what we did, why we did it, and what we could change. But yeah, so I'll end that one there.